Item 2.01, approval of the agenda. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 2.01?
Madam President, I make
Yes.
a motion to approve item 2.01.
Motion made by VP Rodriguez,
Second.
second by Trustee Gomez. Are there any comments from the board? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
Trustee Smith,
Yes.
Yes, moving on to presentations. 3.01, annual report, Dr. Bornay.
Good evening again, Board of Trustees. In keeping with our annual reports, we will now hear from Mike Hales for our annual report for food services. His full presentation has been shared with the board in advance. Mr. Hale will highlight key and important pieces of information.
Good evening. What I'd like to do this evening is present an overview of the current status of the School City of East Chicago's Food Services Department and its funding. This is our overall core values of our department. This is PER. It kind of stands for the fact that we are recognized by and run under USDA regulations, but it is based in putting our students first and having respect for them and the food that we serve. This is kind of the stuff we're going to talk about. So what is the School Nutrition Fund? The core concept of the fund is that the 800 is a self-sufficient nonprofit enterprise that operates inside the School City of Chicago. We do not get any of our funding from local taxes or from the general fund in any way, shape, or form. Every penny we spend, from our food to our cafeteria staff salaries to the vans we use, the ink and paper, the paper I have in my hand, we pay for all of that ourselves, and it comes directly from the 0800 fund, not from the general fund. We operate under USDA regulations that dictate how we operate and what rules and regulations we have to follow. This is our current financial snapshot. We are sitting on a substantial amount of cash on hand. This is because like I said, we don't get our funds from anywhere else. So if our funding runs out, we have to cover it in some way, shape, or form. If food costs goes up, if any of the things that could cause catastrophe within our operations, we have to cover it on our own. USDA allows us to sit on 6 operating months. We are sitting a little higher than that at the moment to get ready for self-operation. Where our funding comes from, the majority of it comes from reimbursements. Kids eat meals, we get paid, and that's kind of how it works out. It's a reimbursement from the USDA. They give us the funds to then purchase more meals, cover our salaries, cover any of the equipment that breaks, anything that we could need, and it all comes from participation and in the small amounts of sales that we do. Operational scale of our program, as you can see, food and labor is the majority of where our cost goes, but then there are fees for administration fees with the current food service management company, direct operational supplies, paper, anything like that. A piece of equipment breaks down, we have to cover that, and that's kind of where our cost sits now. USDA commodities are another aspect of our operation. The USDA gives us funds that we then use to buy locally or nationally grown products that we use to feed our students. This helps offset our cost. It's roughly 45 cents that we're supposed to receive from the prior year's sales. This year was approximately $288,000 that we got from USDA commodities. Unfortunately, those have been slashed in half going into next year. So it's another good reason that we have a little bit of overage in our on cash. So our year-to-date impact, as you can see, we have as of May 1st, we've fed roughly 600,000 meals to our students. That's everything from lunch to breakfast to our now rapidly growing snack, after-school snack program that has taken off in the elementary after some changes that we found. Speaking of, this has been an opportunity for us to work directly with the district with the after-school snack program. As you can see, it jumped substantially. This is a finding that Under USDA regulations, because of the extended day that we have in our elementary, we're allowed to provide snacks to our elementary students during the last hour of school. The district came on board with that, and it's been fantastic. It helps nourish our students, and they're not going home hungry, they're going home with something. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. So if you guys have any questions, anything I can answer for you, I'm more than welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Hale. Are there any questions from the board?
Yes, I do have one question.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Or from the audience? Does the audience have any questions for him? Yes, Ms. Bishop. Can
Ain't that the truth, though?
she likes the hungry cardinals can't fly. Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Trustee Smith.
Maybe I missed it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But what is our total food budget for this year? Did you mention that?
Our total food budget for the year, coming out of food service operations management company, we kind of operated under what they gave us. So we currently are sitting on 1.5 cash on hand, and we operated at roughly two, if I remember right, it was 215,000 was what we operated under so far this year. We don't really have an established budget under the food service management company that we're operating under. Food services works a little differently in that aspect because we have to continue to feed kids. So we try to just make sure our costs stay low and we make the best choices to keep financially sound. If that makes sense.
And this includes summer programs and
Every aspect, everything from the summer operations, after-school programs, breakfast, lunch, the paper, like I said, the paper I'm holding came out of my funds because it's for my department. Every single thing that we do, we pay for out of our own funding that comes from the USDA. We don't touch general fund in any way, shape, or form, therefore not having any impact on local income taxes or anything like that. It's fully funded by the USDA. We're basically seven, about to be 6 restaurants that operate inside the school city of Chicago.
so one more thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you said it and I didn't catch it because I was all over the place. So with us doing our own food service in-house, what would be, can you kind of give me an estimate of what our total savings would be?
Oh, yeah. As you can see here, just with a few of the things that are listed, that $98,124 is just the contract price that we're paying the food service management company right now. That's just through March. They also charge us about $3,000 a week to process our payroll, things like that, which we'll be doing internally, so that'll be saved. So in the long run, it ends up being, about $200,000 or more, $250,000 per year, assuming that there's not a massive fluctuation in food costs as everybody's kind of dealing with right now. But that savings won't be going, that cost will not be going to them. I mean, there's even like this $17,000 they charge us in risk management insurance that we pay for right now. So that 17, the 98,000, the $3,000 a week, all those are savings that we won't be sending out, they'll be staying inside, and we can focus on equipment and students and getting some of our stuff updated. The majority of our equipment comes from the 80s still.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah.
Maybe you said that and I didn't, it passed through my ears. As far as your staff, how are you going to do that? Are you hiring the same people?
Yes, everyone that is currently on our staff has been given the opportunity and will be given the opportunity in the upcoming weeks to apply with the school city of East Chicago, and they'll become employees as of July 1st. They will be given the opportunity to apply for the current positions they are in and for other positions if they choose to move up. And we will use a normal hiring system to decide who's going where from that aspect. And that labor doesn't change anything that you see on the labor there because the way the food service management company was paying our labor was coming directly out of your bills. So that $542,000 in labor doesn't change. It's still the same labor costs that we have then that we'll have in the future, except for the raises that they're going to get based off of their contracts.
I think that's the only questions I have for now. There's one more, but I really can't think right now. But thank you for that information.
If it comes to you, let me know. I can answer it for you.
And after this, could you please provide the board with a printout of that?
Of that breakdown?
Yeah, all your whole program that you just presented.
Yeah, I have that for you now, actually. I can bring it down there to you.
You don't have to do it today, but unless you have it now.
I do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I have, yes. Thank you. As you're passing these out, I do have a question. In alignment with putting students first, do you all work with them and just work with them for like, to come up with like a better plan for food, or just kind of get their thoughts and their input as far as students concerned? Only because we just had a successful alumni takeover, and we did have like a Q&A session for them and had like a student forum, and those were one of the concerns that was raised by the students. So I just wanted to know if there was any collaboration. Do you work with them, or how does that look like?
Yeah, one of the first things we're doing is we're establishing a School City of East Chicago Food Services email that they can directly contact us with concerns they
Okay.
have in the moment. We look forward to setting up times when we can request to join student councils. We won't just walk in on that, but we'll ask for their permission to join.
Okay.
And then after doing that, we would like to have a spinoff that becomes a separate entity that's just us for food services. Kind of like the food guys in the corner go talk to them biweekly or something. We haven't really established what we're going to call that yet. But right now, currently, it's a lot of the communication through my leads on site, who then are directly talking to the students. That then gets back to me, so we can make sure that we're trying to succeed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do have one more question.
Okay. She has one more
I just
question, but I
one more
think VP
question.
Rodriguez, are you trying to jump into?
I'll wait for it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
One question too, Madam Secretary.
Okay, we have
No,
three
go ahead,
questions
Amin.
pending. All right, let's
Go
go.
ahead, Amin.
I think, I just want to just have a clarity so that the community understands that last week, the board approved the removal of K-12 Elior, which is a food service company. And as of July 1st, we'll be going self-service, which means that all of our kitchens at our local schools will be open for business and allowing the resident, or allowing the current workers to be working at these local schools.
Correct. Our current employees will stay on board. And correct, we'll be taking over our own operations.
So my question is, I know there's a statute that the local school districts would need to hire a food service director.
Correct.
Now, given that in the past contract, it was the food service company that was paying for the director of food services, which shouldn't be, correct? Or how is that?
Let me clarify that. Yeah, so for the food service management company, they're going to want to have a food service director to make sure the operations are running properly. You were charged for that inside the salary that's listed above there. But under USDA regulations, starting in roughly 2016, the district is required to also have a food service director. The food service director is the sole overseer of the financial dollar. They are required to understand, know, and run anything that's going to come before you, before it gets to you, to make sure that it passes all USDA regulations for procurement, and understanding that it's going to be non-issue when it comes to audits. So basically, that person is brought on board to ensure that the district is not financially responsible for making up faults in the usage of USDA dollars.
So in terms of student count, because that has to be submitted also in order
Correct.
to get an accurate number, it was the food service company that was handling that. Would that director be handling it now?
Correct. The director oversees all aspects of the operation now. So it's not just the financial side of it, it's the dietary side of it, meeting the nutritional requirements. It's the writing of the menus, it's making sure that, just every aspect of the operations now falls on the food service director.
In terms of the sodium intake, the director would also be making sure that it falls within the guidelines as well.
Correct. It kind of falls under that same aspect of making sure that all aspects of the USDA regulations are followed. They set what the sodium levels are. They set what the vegetable subgroups are, and you have to make sure that those 5 subgroups are served throughout the week. They decide on how much protein. They decide on, like they just passed, I set up till 8:30 on a call about milk coming into next week. We can go back to whole milk and 2%, and we have to determine if that's something we want to do. Those are all decisions that now fall upon the head of the food service director, correct?
Thank you, Madam President.
Trustee Gibson,
No,
you
no,
had a question?
Joelle answered it for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I have one more.
Yeah.
So, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, the pre-K will be served in the classrooms, correct?
Correct. So we've put together an operation where we're going to be mobilizing. We kind of bought these like really cool red mobile carts that have little red and white umbrellas on them, and we'll kind of bring those down the hall and park right in front of the pre-K classrooms. They'll come out, be served off the cart, and then go back into their classroom for consumption. And then that'll happen twice a day for breakfast and lunch.
Okay, so in the past, this was just in the past, unfortunately, some children are late. Is there a time frame? I mean, because I know once the cart goes down the hallway back to you.
No, I'll
and
bring them
some-
food. I'll personally bring it down to them if I have to. We don't let a kid go unfed. The only regulatory rule there is that lunch cannot start until 10:30. I can serve breakfast all the way up to 10:29 if it comes down to it. As long as the building that I'm operating inside allows me to bring food to that student, we will bring food to kids. We want to feed kids. That's what we're here for.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your presentation. Now moving on to item 3.01, NSBA conference presentation by me. Thank you.
3.02,
I'm sorry?
3.02,
3.02.
2?
3.02.
It sure is. Thank you. Stand corrected. I have no problem saying I'm wrong when I'm wrong. All right.
I'm really afraid of this video. I'm just scared of this video.
NSBA conference highlights building community governance and community impact. So this is the NSBA school board conference that we attended in San Antonio back in April. Oh, I've got to click over here. Yes.
And just to let you know, the folks that are on stage were all students, and they did a tremendous job,
thank
by
you.
the way.
What's the button? Should have stood up there. Okay, he'll do it for me. All right. Yeah. All right, see, thank you. All right, so just going to cover some of the, there were so many sessions. All right, so the board has not seen this presentation, so they're going to be surprised by some of the photos tonight. I did go on the NSBA website, and it's going to look like I wasn't there because they all got pictures in there except for me, but I was there. So what I'm going to be covering is just, I mean, there were so many sessions. It was 3 days full of sessions, and we got to cherry pick pretty much what session we wanted to attend. So I try to get feedback from all the board and kind of compile it into a 10-minute presentation, so I'm going to do my best. But these were some of the presentations that did stand out. Small but mighty, the power of a unified board. So a key message from this session was that board's decisions directly impact student outcomes. By focusing on long-term goals instead of short-term disagreements, board can create stability for leadership and staff. Another big takeaway from this presentation was that the improvement isn't always about getting more resources, but it's about being more aligned. When the board, superintendent, and staff are all on the same page, you could do a lot more with what you already have. So for us, it was just a good reminder, not about, I was on the wrong slide. Lord help me.
That's okay. You get it.
I'm running two presentations at one time. All right, so why did this conference matter? Or why did we want to make sure we were there? So this NSBA conference did give us a chance to kind of step away from our day-to-day work and really just think about how what we do handles and how we handle things impact the students. So one thing that did come through, one message that did come through loud and clear throughout the entire weekend is that what we do as a board does directly impact the success of our students. That means staying united, having a clear purpose, and making every decision with students at the center. We also learned that governance isn't just oversight. It's a powerful driver of improvement when we stay aligned and work together. Stronger boards build trust by engaging the community and working towards a consensus and not a control. And as education continues to change, we have to be willing to adapt, supporting innovation while staying accountable. At the end of the day, everything comes back to one question: are we doing what is best for our students? Because that is what matters the most. Next slide, please. So this presentation was given to us by the West Las Vegas School District, home of the Dons and the Lady Dons. And they, let me use this. This presentation was by their superintendent, Mr. Christopher Gutierrez. He's been a superintendent of that school district of 10 years, and his school board members, so they did a collaborative presentation. And when he started in that school district size was 1,232 students, and today they have a school district size of 1,610. So they're a lot smaller than we are. Next slide, please. Small but mighty, that's what I was reading earlier. Small but mighty, the power of a unified board. So from left to right, here we have Mr. Gabriel Salazar. We have Vice President Linda Montoya. Then we have President Rolando Medrano. And then we have Mr. Christopher Lopez. And then last, we have Secretary Ms. Christine Ludi. Now, he has been a superintendent, he's not in this picture, but he's been a superintendent for 10 years, and Ms. Ludi has been on the board for 22 years of that school district. So a key message from this session, exactly why I was paying attention, they were absolutely doing something right. So a key message from them was that board's decisions do directly impact student outcomes by focusing on long-term goals instead of short-term disagreements. The school board shared how they moved from the constant 3-2 votes, focused more on talking things through and finding a common ground. The shift built trust both internally and with the community. Another big takeaway was that improvement isn't always about getting resources, like I just said. It's more about being aligned. When we're all on the same page, we could do a lot more with what we already have. For us, this was a good reminder that it's not just about being right, it's about how we work together. Disagreement is normal, but how we handle it matters. When we stay unified, we send a clear message that our students do come first. One thing, we had a little QA session there, and they asked Mr. Medrano what, because I guess he was the one that was always on the lower side, but he said he just had he just had to come to Jesus meeting, and he responded that the board is not a circle. There are no sides. When he's asked, what side are you on? He said, I'm not on no side. It's a circle. It's not a box. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So what were some of the outcomes or some of the successes that they've had when they shifted to being a unified board? If you go on to the next. One of their big, huge successes was the Career Technical and Education as Student-Centered Strategy. So the West Las Vegas School District showed how shared vision can lead to innovative student-focused programs such as CTE. A key takeaway was that when boards support new pathways and remove barriers, the students benefit right away. It also showed how partnering with local governments and employers can expand opportunities without extra costs. So for us, the message is very clear. When we stay aligned and work with the community, we can open more doors for the students than a traditional approach alone. And I want to drive your attention to my third, that's supposed to be a bullet point, But this was like one of their major successes, and it was that they had the, actually, is it that one? Yeah, is the third one. First female special education student earned her CDL. And that was the highlight of their program. I thought that was so powerful. Through the CTE initiatives. Also, integration of CTE with academic goals, they led to a 91% graduation with dual credit and top state ranking for the district. So those were some powerful, powerful outcomes that came out of then just saying, you know what, it starts with us as a board.
Yes.
Now, remember I said that there was not a lot of pictures. For some reason, I didn't take a lot of pictures of me, so I had to be real creative. Next slide,
Stay on my
please.
phone.
A good weight on my heart is ice cream. I have to have ice cream every day. So alignment over resources, that is a governance mindset shift. So a key theme, again, was simple. Alignment matters more than resources. The West Las Vegas School District didn't start with more funding. They started by getting everyone on the same page. They started by setting a clear vision and sticking to shared priorities. That alignment built momentum and eventually brought in more support. We also heard from them how misalignment can slow things down, causing confusion, frustration, and mixed messages. But when boards are aligned, it creates clarity and allows staff to focus on getting things done. Healthy discussions is important, but once a decision is made, it's important to move forward together and support one another as a board. One of their quotes that they left us with was strengthening the board-superintendent relationship and watch how governance decisions will drive measurable, fast results. So that was the Las Vegas school. The next session we attended, great, was one that truly could resonate with us as well. We're in the middle of this as we speak. I'll keep talking. And it was called From Empty Desk to Full Dreams, And this was a school in Littleton, Colorado, that they transformed one of their public schools into a community connect center. So that was a very powerful presentation. So they turned one of their schools into a community center. And, oh, so bad, I can't show you my screens.
That was in rating schools.
Yeah, so this session obviously focused on how the school district of Littleton, Colorado turned a closed school building into a valuable community asset. What stood out is that they were dealing with the exact same challenges, and a lot of the school districts shared that they had, encountering the same challenges as a public school entity, which is limited funding and declining enrollment. But they did not have the same obstacles that we have here in the state of Indiana. And that boardroom or that conference room was very packed. There was a lot of school board members that were either in the process of having that discussion, in the middle of that discussion, or coming out of that process. So I shared with them, I wanted to know what were some obstacles that they've encountered, because one of our obstacles or challenges that we're faced with here in the state of Indiana is one, the SEA 1 or the SB 1 restrictions, which that's the restriction or the law restricting funding for public schools and requiring us to share our local operational tax funds with eligible charter schools. Again, we have two of them here in East Chicago. I also shared with them that the $1 law, which requires us to lease or sell the unused vacant school buildings to charter schools. I shared those two obstacles with them because I'm like, man, they did a lot in this community center, but how did they get around these two? They're like, what? They got offended for us. They're like, those weren't obstacles that they had. So those were challenges that that we're working through, and it has been very, very challenging to work through in this season that we're in right now. So what they shared was that instead of seeing that as a setback, they leaned into a community engagement and built strong partnerships to expand services. They work closely with local organizations to meet real community needs without putting more strain on the school budget. For us, that was a reminder that even in challenging times, there is an opportunity to rethink how we use our resources and spaces. This is going to be so boring, me just reading without the slides, so I apologize. But there is an opportunity to rethink how we use our resources and spaces to better serve our students. For our board, with the right planning and partnerships, schools can use their buildings to both serve students and a broader community. And I think I may want to pause here because it's not going to communicate the message fully. I think it's coming up. Hold on.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you going?
Well, I was the last one on the board presentation.
What you say you gonna do?
5 minutes? Okay.
Wait till it catches up.
Let me see. Yeah. I'm going to pause here and just hand it over to you for superintendent report, and hopefully we'll have that back up by the time he's done. Thank you for your patience. Technology's great.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is question.
I did have a presentation as well for the superintendent's report, but I will just read my comments. This is my report for May 13th, 2026. Yesterday, I joined Deans Dinkins and Sanders from Central with our My Brother's Keepers ambassadors for the last MBK meeting for the school year. To quote one of our ambassadors, Senior Jukes, I learned the importance of staying the path, a message of encouragement shared during that last meeting. We are super looking forward to participating in MBK next year. Last week, we honored and celebrated 3 staff groups who do a remarkable job in their roles teaching our students, supporting schools, and engaging our community. Our school nurses who keep students healthy, safe, and ready to learn. They handle everything from daily care and medications to emergencies, mental health support, and public health education. And in the absence of the presentation, I will share the names of those nurses. Nurse Stephanie Abrego, Nurse Mary Bobo, Nurse Rose Cox Stevens, Nurse Belinda Flores, Nurse Jasmine Johnson, Nurse Cindy Leonardo, Nurse Terza Sism, and Nurse Letiasia Wright. Let's give all of our school nurses a hand. SEC recognized both teachers and staff during Teacher Appreciation Week last week. We took the time to recognize these staff members at the district level as well as the school level, individually and collectively, for what they do for our students every day. Let's give all of our teachers and staff a round of applause. May 8th was School Communicators Day. It is nationally recognized for everyone who deals with communications, public relations for our school district. We thank all of our professionals who work behind the scenes to keep our families informed and our community engaged. We also acknowledge the students in our digital design pathway, our work-based learning, students who work in our print shop, and the adults who work closely with them as a vital part of our communications and media team. I would like to have all of those members, staff members who are present, please join me for a photo. Mr. Jeremy Torres, Ms. Sylvia Alvarez, Ms. Katrina Alexander, and Mr. Ala Mura. Someone actually will have to take a picture because Ms. Alvarez. SCEC's first Future Ready Awards night will be Thursday, May 21st at 4:30 p.m. at Central High School in the auditorium. Future Ready Awards aligns with our 2025 to 2030 strategic plans focus area on career pathways. This event will acknowledge our students who have earned a dual credit, have earned an industry credential, and/or completed a 75-hour work-based learning internship. And finally, I want to say thank you to the over 135 East Chicago Central High School alumni who participated in our first Alumni Takeover Day on Friday, May 1st. Let's give all of our alumni a hand. We did have an alumni video that we wanted to share, but we were having some technical difficulty. But we will make sure that's posted on our district website so everyone will have access to that. And Madam President, that concludes my report.
So, thank you for your patience. So, community and measurable impact. So these are just some photos that they share with us, and they share with us some measurements and some impacts that they have made in this community center. So they had over 40,000 entries into the center, 120 special events, cultural, educational, and resourcing. They had over 11,800 individuals have access to food, so they had like a food bank in there as well. Over 6,100 events of youth programming, 500 individuals for mental health services, and more than 2,100 volunteers engaged to make this community center a success. Next slide, please. And they shared some of the partners that they've worked with. As you can see, maybe a couple of those partners kind of align with partners that we're working with now, but it takes definitely a partnership to make this work. Next slide. The next session that we attended is one that was very prominent and very high attended. It was so much so that it was so packed that we couldn't even get in. And this was the immigration in public schools, keeping schools safe for all students. They talked about the National Education Association Safe Zone policy. So again, it's one of those things that it was so great to hear, but because in our state, our laws prevent us from, or restrict us rather, then from actually enforcing this policy model, it just had us thinking at a whole different level, like how do we pivot? How do we go around these challenges to make sure that our students and our families are safe? So again, we're faced with litigation constraints. While they encourage schools to protect immigrant students, the Indiana state policy prioritizes cooperation with federal authorities and prohibits policies that hinder that cooperation. But I did not get to attend this session because it was so packed. They closed the doors, but I'm going to defer to someone, trustee, to share a little bit, because this trustee was able to get into the, sneak into the actual session and made her way through there. Go ahead and share the next slide, please. Yeah. She bullied her way in there.
Should have
and
known.
I had turned around for something, and the gentleman in the red, he's like, "You're looking for Auntie. She snuck in. She thinks I didn't see her." So I'm gonna let Trustee Gibson King share a little bit because, again, I didn't attend this session.
Yes.
I don't even know how she ended up with the microphone in her hand.
Oh, yes. Well, no.
Yes, she did.
Well, no, anybody knows me from East Chicago. I do a lot of networking. And so, like Trustee Taylor said, that we were all going to attend this session. And what happened when we got to the door, the gentleman that's sitting there he was the gatekeeper sitting there. And so we were all huddled up at the door. And there was
I just turned on for a
somebody,
split second.
someone had a scooter. And so I just decided to sit on it while they were, pardon? Oh, no. And so while they were talking, a man came out of the conference and something told me, I said, "Hey, sir," I say, "Are you leaving?" He said, "Yeah, I have a friend. I have to go and find him. He's kind of lost." So I said, "Okay." So then I asked the gatekeeper there, "Well, can I go in there?" He said, "Sure." I said, "Oh, okay." And then the man that was leaving, he told me, he said, "Well, I'm sitting at a table where there's a cup." I said, "Really?" So, okay, so I gets in there, and like Trustee Taylor said, it is crowded. I mean, they're on the floor sitting.
Yeah.
So I get in there, so I'm trying to see this cup, but I can't find this cup nowhere. So a gentleman came and got me. So apparently the man on the door told him that I hadn't snuck in there, that she was allowed to come in, and take her to where that cup was sitting at. So I got to the table where the cup was at. But one thing, I was so joyed to get in there to talk about some of the things that they were talking about as far as immigration. They showed a 3-second video, which was very heartbreaking, as the children playing with their fathers or their mothers, and all of a sudden the parent just goes black, and the word ICE comes up. So they're taken away. One thing too, they talked about safe zone schools, which we're going to discuss as far as our policies is concerned. They talked about policies, period. What we need to put in place. We do have things in place, but there, like Mercedes said, that there's some things that we can't do right now because of maybe legislation, what have you, but we are working on some things to have safe schools for our children, as well as what we need in our school district. So me with the mic there, I was, being interviewed, and I said, "Well, let me interview you too then." So, so I had a fun event, but we all were trying to get in there though. So, no, I was invited to come in.
His words was Auntie bullied herself in. Thank you so much.
Huh?
Okay.
Got in, but
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
yeah, I had
All
fun.
right, well, thank you for sharing. If I could go on to the next slide. We know who this gentleman is, Council of Urban Boards of Education, CUBE. VP Joel Rodriguez was one of our speakers at our luncheon. You could go on to the next slide. And I want to take a moment to recognize him because he continues to serve as the chair, but he delivered a very powerful, timely message that resonated with all of us and committed to the work of public school education, but especially for those of us here at home, and when I say home, here in Indiana, here in East Chicago, where we are actively navigating policies and litigation that are constantly put into place to challenge us and to challenge the very foundations of our schools. So what stood out most to me about his speech was his reminder that we must stay focused on what we are fighting for, not just for what we are fighting against. His words grounded us, and he quotes, "Still here is not a small thing. For those of us who serve urban and suburban communities, still here is a form of resistance. Still here is a declaration," and that message carried a lot of weight that night. But what I admired most was his humility. In a room full of leaders, Joel took the time to honor someone who poured into him and helped shape his journey. He said, and I quote, "I want to recognize an individual who disagreed with me for the past 2 years, but yet became my greatest ally." Next slide. Can you hit play on that button there for me?
I am going to show.
Oh, you can't hear. Well, you can see her reaction.
Yes.
So he acknowledged her as being the trustee that has really been his ally, and gave her recognition in front of a room full of people, and she thought I knew something about it, and she would not stop crying the whole night. So, but thank you for that moment. And thank you, trustee VP Joel, for representing us well that night. That was a very powerful message, and you delivered it with such passion and such heart, and she wasn't the only tears that were coming down during that time, so thank you. Thank you. Next slide, please. All right, so looking ahead, applying what we have learned and our takeaways from this conference. To stay focused on student-centered decision-making, strengthen alignment across board, leadership, and staff, prioritize collaboration and trust building even in disagreements, to leverage community partnerships to expand opportunities, and use existing resources more strategically. It's the only picture I had.
But because I took that.
Because she took it.
Yes, I did.
So our immediate next steps is to engage in board coaching to strengthen the governance practices. So we did get to meet with a coach, and we all met with this coach, and we all felt very comfortable. And just that night alone, I think he did some work in establishing, like, just identifying the framework that would work for us, so that we could establish clear board goals and align a shared vision. I think that's very important. I don't think we have a actual vision as a board that we're working towards. We just, we're partnered with the strategic plan, and we're, and we're pushing that along. But what is our actual vision as a board? That's something that I really want to work to establish, to commit self-awareness, accountability, self-accountability, continuous improvement, and build a stronger superintendent-board partnership. So thank you for your patience tonight and for listening and just entertaining us. And here are just some pictures. Again, that picture on the upper right corner, I don't know where I was at, but it came up on the NSBA website. Yeah, it was a great time. We had some great takeaways, and it was a powerful, powerful conference. And I'm looking forward to applying what we've learned. Thank you. Are there any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so now I will move over to I'm going to do administrative report. Executive Director of Business Office, Ms. Leila Simmons.
Good evening, Board of Trustees.
Good evening.
I would like to do an overview, a recap of what happened in the finance meeting last Thursday. This was a finance meeting that Trustee Rodriguez and Trustee Ms. Diane Smith was attending. Also, it was live also, so if anyone wanted to actually see the details live. So the finance meeting was about the increases of the salary schedule, and also comparing it back to the administrators, the certified and the non-certified administrators. So we went through detail each line to make sure that all of the administrators were on the salary schedule as had been talked about in October when the salary schedule was approved. So we went through each one. We also had Cinder and Dalton in to make sure that everything was adding up correctly. So the logistics of the meeting basically was the budget. So with the increases of salaries, which was not in my original 26 budget, we had to make some different changes to the salary line. So the salary line had increased a little over $600,000 compared to what the original budget was. So the great thing about the increase, it'll be an appropriation change that we will bring before the board probably in mid-October, mid-November. But the increase did not reflect an actual deficit in our funding. So the district is pretty much funded to a point that we have the wiggle room to have the increases to our salary schedule. And the only thing is the appropriations that I have to change through the budget. As far as funding, the money is there. Right now, we're holding, after we do the funding, we will be holding at a little over 16 million in the district on just the funding part for the salaries. Any questions from the board? I gave y'all a printout. Trustee,
Thank you for that. In terms of, because we did approve it back in 2025, I want to say October-ish.
yes, October 2025.
So given that the approval, we also discussed the salaries being retroed up until the day of approval.
Correct.
So in that 600, you're also adding the,
Correct. We have the
Retro
retro in there, so they will be retro to the day of the board approval.
okay.
Yep. No, no, that was something else going into the new CBAs. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that was what we voted on in October of
2025, yes. And that was the new salary schedule that was put in place. So, just to, because I know it was kind of, I was not at the meeting when it was brought up, so we did bring it up in the finance department, finance meeting, and we're moving forward with making sure everyone have the salary schedules that is approved by the board.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from the audience? Any questions from the board?
Madam President.
Yes.
So this was just focused on salaries?
Correct. This was just to focus on the salaries. Mhm.
I guess I would be concerned about or interested in how we're looking financially on a, maybe a monthly basis. So if you could provide that data to the board and, include that in your, you're having meetings monthly now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So if you could include that as a discussion in your finance committee meetings to see where we're at financially moving month to month.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Actually, that will also, I'm sorry, trustee
I
Rodriguez.
just wanted to also reiterate, after talking with, because we did have a presentation by Sender and Company.
Correct.
So I did mention that we should have something on our website that kind of reflects a month-to-month in terms of where we are as far as the reduction of
Correct.
what we need to reduce within 2028.
So that will be the presentation in the next board meeting during my session, will be the monthly update. That would also be posted on the website. And that update will include the funds, the federal funds also, plus the state funding also.
Are there any other questions from the board? Thank you, Ms. Simmons. All right, so moving on to the consent agenda. Do I have any questions from the audience or comments about the consent agenda? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Madam President, make a motion to approve item 6, the consent agenda.
Motion made by VP
Second.
Rodriguez, second by trustee Gomez. Are there any comments or questions by the board? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Moving on to new business, item 701, approval of paper. Are there any comments from the board, from the audience? Yes. Approval of paper high dosage tutoring summer pilot.
Good evening. Helen Steinbach, 5207 East 73rd Avenue, Maryville, Indiana. I have watched the presentation by the company paper. I have listened to the work session. And I am recommending that you don't approve hiring paper to do the summer school session because our teachers that are already tutoring and will be teaching summer school are providing adequate and wonderful instruction for those students. In fact, in my building, I know for a fact that in second grade, students that attended tutoring, 7 of them passed in second grade. And I'm not sure of the number in third grade, but those teachers that were providing tutoring are also providing summer school instruction if they get approved on the personnel report. And then also, there's teacher at Lincoln, who all her second grade students passed IREAD already, and she's teaching summer school. So I don't see why we need a company for somebody to go sit in front of a screen and have instruction from somewhere far away when the teachers that are already working in the buildings and providing that instruction are helping our students pass that IREAD test, so.
Thank you. Are there any other comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.01?
I matter of fact, make a motion to approve item .701.
Motion made by Secretary Smith. Can I get a second?
I'm going to second.
Second by VP Rodriguez. Any comments from the board? Hearing none, Madam.
I do want to just have one comment.
Yes.
You know, I always, when I'm talking in Indianapolis, I'm always telling our legislators, you know, we see you on screen, but we never see you walk the hallways of our schools. I think one of the things I like about the teachers that we currently have is that they know every student by name. And I think that's, to me, I take that very personal, because if you can come in our district and you can know every person, walk our hallways, and you can talk to our students and things like that, to me, that's positive. It's a positive impact for our students, for our teachers, and so forth. So I'm going to say no on this early, but I'm pretty sure we have roll call.
All right. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Something to say to Madam President. As you know, we've had a lot of discussion about this company here, and I'm like Trustee Rodriguez, which we've all said that our kids would not benefit from just sitting virtual in front of a screen, what have you not. So I'm going to vote no on it as well. That's my take on it.
Okay, ready for roll call. Thank you. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Trustee Gibson King?
No.
Trustee Gomez?
No.
Trustee Rodriguez?
No.
Trustee Smith?
No.
Trustee, Madam President Taylor?
No. Moving on to item 6.02, approval of title grant for the 2026-2027 school year. Are there any comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.02?
Madam President, I move for approval of 7.02.
Motion made by Trustee Gomez, second by VP Rodriguez. Are there any comments from the board? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Trustee Gibson King?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez?
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Madam President Taylor?
Yes. Moving on to item 7.03, approval of Skybound. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.03?
Madam President, motion to approve 7.03.
Motion made by Trustee Gomez,
Second.
second by VP Rodriguez. Any comments from the board?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Harris, can you kindly just give an overview of that particular item?
Yes, I think we should start with Dr. Yanders first, and then I can help supplement that as far as the contract goes.
Okay,
I know
thank
she
you.
worked on that, and I worked with her on this.
Thank you.
Oh, gosh.
Good evening, trustees. School City of East Chicago will be going out for what is called the SIG grant, up to $300,000 for the first year during the planning, and then after that, up to $3 million for each of our schools who qualify for the school improvement grant. I have with me today Mr. Charles Williams from Skybound, and he can give you a little bit more information about Skybound. But in order to apply for the SIG grant, you must have a technical partner. And so we have chosen, after vetting only four vendors were approved by the state of, by Indiana Department of Education, and Skybound was the one that we ended up with our partnership. Mr. Williams, come on up.
While he's coming up, I'll just add to that. I'm familiar with Skybound. They're working in other districts as of the same partnership. And it's based upon them getting this grant money. If they are successful in getting the money for the district, that's how they earn their fee. But I'll let him elaborate on that.
Oh, okay.
Hi, so my name is Charles Williams. I work with Skybound Education. As Mr. Harris mentioned, we do have a fee that's associated with writing the grant, but that fee is not associated or asked for until the grant is approved. Skybound Education has successfully received more grant awards than any of the other priority partners. Just last year, we were able to secure the grant for Gary, who received $7.8 million. Once that grant is awarded, then we provide support, getting all the information back to the state as far as the deliverables and things like that. But yes, nothing is asked for. We're kind of like those lawyer commercials. Nothing until you win.
Until you win.
So right now, I'm actually the person writing it. I'm right here in Northwest Indiana. Used to work here in East Chicago with the 21st Century Scholars program. Worked over at Central and other spaces. Was a school administrator in the area. Grew up in Hammond. So I'm a local person doing this work for you. So if the grant, or I should say when.
When, you got that right.
When the grant is received, I will be your person doing your work inside your buildings. I've already been doing school visits and working closely with your principals.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, go ahead. Anybody else?
Madam President,
Yes.
thank you. I just had a question on the 7.8 or whatever other schools you've worked with. What's the length of, how long is that 7.8 good for?
That's a great question. There's a planning year for 1 year and then 3 years of implementation.
So
that-
total, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say it's a 4-year grant.
thank you.
So it's a large amount of money covering 4 years.
Thank you.
So that's how Gary got that amount? Because I see right here, it's 175,000. Can we go above that once we participate in the program, or that's just our particular amount?
So that is the fee that the company charges per year. So you will get potentially $7.8 million, and then the company charges a fee to do all of the work on your behalf. But that comes out of the grant directly.
Oh, it comes out of the grant?
Comes out of the grant, not out of
Once we
general
get-
funds.
okay, we don't have to
Once you
pay.
receive it.
Oh,
Yeah, so nothing due beforehand.
no, I had this circled. I'm like, what?
No, not at all. So the work that I'm doing right now would not be charged in any capacity until the grant is received.
Madam President.
Yes, VP Rodriguez.
So, will you be handling the not the implementation, but sort of the compliance of the programs and just keeping everything up to speed throughout those years?
That is correct. We would be serving almost as a project manager, making sure that all the deliverables are being sent back. I will say that thus far for Gary, because I know that's the work that I've been doing, we've gotten green all across the board. So things are running smoothly over there. And so that is my job, so that way your school leaders, your school district can continue doing school while we are doing the back-end work, bringing in those programs, whatever it is that the district is saying, this is the work that we need to do in order to be transformative.
And my second question, is this sort of a revolving grant after the 4 years? Would this grant be possibly implemented again, or is this just a one-time hit?
You could try again. It's highly unlikely that they would provide a SIG grant so closely afterwards. In the past, schools, districts could receive SIG grants yearly, but they were much, much smaller, usually hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now they are multi-million dollars and highly competitive. Last year, they granted 4 of these awards across the state. Skybound successfully received 2 of those for their schools. So one in Gary and one at a school down in Indianapolis.
So when do we start?
We already have. I'm assuming that things were going to be approved. I've already started crafting your application for you.
It's gonna be approved.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's just get to the roll call
Well, then it's
then.
already done.
Madam President, can I-
Madam Secretary, roll call,
Yes,
please.
okay.
Madam President, can I make one comment?
Yes.
And I will not be abstaining to this, because even though he sort of looked like my brother, this is something I would be approving, by the way. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you for the feedback and
Madam
the
President,
information. Yes,
I
trustee
did have
Gomez.
another question. So this is coming out of DOE, Indiana DOE, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So do we have to establish a a line item for this? Where does it, when it comes to us, where does it go into? Operations or
Federal grants.
where will this money go into?
That's a federal grant.
So we have to establish a new line item for this.
Yes, sir.
Thank
A
you.
new yes. I know,
So
yeah,
so typically, all federal grants have their own separate fund,
yes,
right? Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go to work.
Let's get the grant.
Now get to work.
I was just getting ready to say that. Thank you. I was getting ready to say start down.
All right, so moving on to item 7.04, approval of wage reopener for paraprofessionals. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.04?
Madam President, I'll make a motion to approve 7.04.
Motion made by VP
Second.
Rodriguez, second by Trustee Gomez. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Moving on to item 7.05, approval of Sylvan tutoring service for St. Stan's. Are there any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.05?
Madam President, motion to approve 7.05.
Motion made by Trustee Gomez,
Second.
second by Secretary Smith. Any comments from the board? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Moving on to item 7.06, approval of playground letter of recommendation. Are there any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.06?
Madam President, make a motion to approve item 7.06.
Motion made by VP
Second.
Rodriguez, second by Trustee Gomez. Any questions or comments from the board?
Madam President,
Yes, Trustee
I'd just like
Gomez.
to know what improvements are being made. I reviewed the letter. I didn't see much in the way of specifics.
So the improvements are being made at the 4 elementary schools that we're bringing in the preschool to each elementary. So we will be actually physically putting a preschool playground at each elementary and doing some upgrades on the current equipment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes. Moving on to item 7.07, approval of contract for clinical psychologist, 26-27 school year, Dr. Catherine Hulls. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.07?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve 6.07.
7.07?
Did I miss?
Second.
You said 6.07.
6.07.
7.
What?
Let me see what you're looking at.
What agenda do I have?
I don't know, but I don't know. 7.07, hers does say 6.
7.07. I don't do agenda.
Second by Jesse.
All right, second by Trustee Gomez. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, moving on to item 7.08, approval of work-based learning coordinator job description. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.08?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve 7.08.
Motion made by Trustee Smith, second by VP Rodriguez. Are there any questions from the board?
Madam President,
Yes, VP
can we get
Rodriguez.
sort of a brief summary on this one
I was gonna-
Yes, Dr. Warner.
from the soup?
Dr.
Actually,
Boyer.
I'll just go ahead and respond. So we are adjusting the current work-based learning coordinator position to reflect, which was previously a 12-month position, to an 11-month position, in alignment with her direct supervisor. So our current model, there was a 12-month employee working 12 months, but the supervisor only worked 11.
So this is modified for an 11-month position?
Instead of a whole year.
Correct.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board?
Madam President,
Yes, trustee Gomez?
is the salary adjusted as well?
And then that would be a Simmons question or Dr. McJunkins?
No, the salary stays the same. It's just now how it is, it goes to a 26 pay on there. So the salary stays the same. We just divide it differently now of how much she get paid. And then also, it'll be just like a teacher salary, basically.
So is this a teacher salary?
No, it's not. That's a work-based coordinator.
What is the salary for this?
I do believe it was 51, I do believe.
And
This person has been in this position for a little, I want to say close to 2 years now. So basically, she was just a 12-month employee, but now that we have a CTE director that's going to be the 11-month, she works closely with the CTE director for that.
Okay, are there any other questions? Madam Secretary, roll call, please. Thank you.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Moving on to item 7.09, approval of Zycan Renewal Water Management Service, chemicals for HVAC. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.09?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve item 7.09.
Motion made by VP Rodriguez,
Second.
second by Secretary Smith. Are there any comments or questions from the board?
Madam President.
Yes, trustee Gomez?
I don't know who can answer this, maybe Attorney Harris, but on Exhibit A, there's a list of schools, which is on page 6 here. I noticed that we have the Kirigash Early Learning Center as one of the buildings, and I guess my question is, if we're vacating that building, why would we need to service it? And likewise, what about the other Kirigash and Calumet?
So historically, I don't know how they arrived at which buildings needed to be included in the schedule and which ones did not. So I think that's a good question. I don't know if Ms. Simmons has a history on that, but
Yes.
this isn't the first time we're having this agreement. It's been around for some time, but go ahead.
Yes, this is, I do believe, going into our second year. This agreement came up for the chemicals. This is the chemicals that treat the HVAC systems. So yes, we would have to keep it for Kirigash Early Learning Center. And the far as the Kirigash 148th, it should be also on that, it's not on there? Okay, so we'll add that one on there. Because especially now that we're going in, they are going to have to redo the whole chemical system there because it was an old company that had it.
Attorney Harris, will we need to do that by a motion, or how would we add?
Well, I think when you do make a motion to approve it, I think that it will be as amended. You want to make sure that
Amended.
yes, the additional school is added. And I think she answered your question regarding Kirigash Early Learning Center. The building isn't closed. Obviously, the board has voted on repurposing the building in some way, but there hasn't been a final decision on closure of the building. So there still is a responsibility to service it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
I'm sorry. Trustee Gomez, well, I'll go ahead and amend my motion to add this building.
Correct. We will be adding a new 148th Street to that.
Okay.
And at the
Since-
time this contract was done, which was when we had the 3 schools up under HVAC, 148th was not being serviced over there.
I'll second that.
Before we have a roll call or any other discussion, I'll make sure that in the final version of the agreement, the Exhibit A is updated. So that will be what's on file is Exhibit A with the additional building.
All right, so a motion was made by VP Rodriguez to amend, to approve with the amendment of adding the additional Kirigash building, the original, let me not say the additional.
148th.
148th, and second by trustee Gomez. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Sorry, I did have one more question.
Yes,
That's regarding Exhibit B, Attorney Harris, it says, or Ms. Simmons, special services not included in this agreement would be billed at $2.25 per hour for travel and time. This company is located in Ohio.
So, this company was vented by earlier, director. So we have not paid for anything other than $895 a month. Other than when we first got it, we had to buy their equipment to treat the equipment correctly. So we have not been charged any additional unless something goes wrong. Then we will call them out. But no, we have not been charged any additional other than the $895 a month since we had the contract.
Yeah, the special services are intended to be out of scope work. If you call them, that's the rate that they'll bill.
So they don't have a local office, I guess was my question.
To my knowledge, I thought they had a local office in Illinois because that's where the gentleman comes from that we talked to. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Moving on to item 7.10, approval of bid for walk-in freezer at Block Middle School. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.10?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve item 7.10.
Motion made by Secretary Smith, second by Trustee Gomez. Any comments from or questions from the board? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Moving on to item 7.11, approval of project development agreement with Energy Systems Group, LLC. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.11?
Madam President, make a motion to approve item 7.11.
Motion made by VP Rodriguez,
Second.
second by Secretary Smith. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Madam President.
Yes, Trustee Gomez?
Again, maybe for Attorney Harris or Ms. Simmons, but it says here under the price and payment terms, it's $131,000 within 30, and then it says in parentheses, 60 days of receipt. Do you see that on number 4, page 204?
Item 4.
Madam President,
Yes.
we also have a representative from ESG, if they can also address the question, Mr. Jacob Posley.
Yeah, just looking at the agreement, it seems as though 60 days is what's intended, but we'll let
Yes.
Mr. Posey.
Yes, thank you for the ability to be here, and thank you for our selection as your partner. As promised in my previous presentation, that fee will not be collected. It's very similar to someone that was here a little bit earlier. When it wins, you pay that fee. So we pay that fee up front fully, so that 60 days is meant to say within the construction contract. So when we're winning and we've engineered, designed, bid out, scheduled a project that all of you have approved and love, then we go to that fee and it's part of construction fees. So it should be construction contract, which won't happen until everything's fully designed, engineered, and costed and approved by you. So all this fee is upfront paid by us, infinitum. So we're not asking for this money at all. No, we don't want this money.
Besides that, I'm just curious how this works, because there is an out clause in here. And so how does that work if we end up paying you and then we decide that we no longer want your services? We've already paid you now.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
So-
that's what the fee is. So in the event that we don't go to construction in a time that we all agree upon, and I'm very, very flexible with that. Everybody's got to be happy before we move to construction. Then if we don't ever intend on moving to construction, then that fee covers our engineering hours and all of our design hours.
Attorney Harris?
Yeah, that's a good description of what that is intended to be. In the event you decide not to go forward, that's the only way that they would be entitled to that fee. If we move forward with the next step in this process, which now we're looking at a project development agreement, The purpose of the project development agreement is for the school corporation to enter into an actual performance-based contract that'll lead to construction, et cetera. That's really what they're intended to do, is to do the construction. So as long as there are no hiccups in the process, we continue to be pleased with their engineering and their prioritization of the work that needs to be done for the district. They'll never collect that fee because we won't separate. In fact, we'll move on to the next contract and continue to do work.
And Trustee Gomez, if I could add one more thing, in a decade of me and my team serving schools under ESG, I have never been paid that fee in that sense.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions? Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Moving on to item 7.12, approval of professional development request. Are there any comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve item 7.12?
Madam President, make a motion to approve 7.12.
Motion made by VP Rodriguez,
Second.
second by Trustee Smith. Are there any questions or comments from the board?
Madam President.
Yes, Trustee Gomez.
Dr. Bernay, this question would be, I guess, for you. Regarding the last item on the agenda, it's that, sorry, but it's the one that's housed at, it's the one for the UFLI Academy.
Are you talking about the last item on the personnel report?
I'm sorry, no, on the professional
On
development
the
report.
professional development report.
Yes, so there is, so obviously each school has title funds, which are earmarked for how the schools can autonomously use them. So when there's a balance of funds, that principal school team decides how they're going to use it, and this team is deciding to use it for professional development.
It sounds like a good program, just wondering about the other buildings. If this building, I appreciate that they found this. So the coach is going to be going there, 2 teachers and a principal. That's the coach, correct? One of those
Correct.
individuals. So would this coach be able to work with other schools? How do you see
So
that?
all of our schools use UFly, and that team will come and sort of train the trainer, share with other schools what they've learned. So you have the principal, a coach, and 2 teachers.
Okay.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Moving on to item 7.13, approval personnel report. Are there any comments or questions from the board? I'm from the audience.
Hello, Helen Steinbach again, 5207 East 73rd Avenue. I have a couple of questions, comments. Item number 3 on the personnel report. Don't remember that we had this posting listed in our available positions. And how long has it been since we've had this position at the high school?
What page we on?
Page 1. Line number 3, no, line number 3, yes.
Have to be on, wait a minute. What page? You got to be on here, sir.
And then I am concerned about my teachers that are working summer school not getting paid what they should be getting paid based on past practice. I brought this to attention to the superintendent and to the HR director and curriculum director. So I don't know why we've gone back and forth, but the teachers should be making their hourly rate, and they're not, according to this personnel report. So I would like that changed. So previously, teachers that work summer school were paid their hourly rate. So it worked out to be maybe $45 an hour. If you've been here for a longer time, you might be making close to $50 an hour. And then when we went into COVID and we had ESSER dollars, we were offering teachers $50 or $75 an hour. And so it became that $50 or $75 an hour, or your hourly rate, whichever was higher, to incentivize people to work summer school. Then when we went away from the ESSER funding, and our hourly off contract rate went from $35 to $40 an hour, somehow that $40 an hour found its way into the posting for summer school. And so people bid on the job based on the fact that it was posted at $40 an hour. This year, when the posting went up, there was no rate posted either for the $40 an hour or their hourly rate. And so I brought that to attention in discussion, and I thought that we had resolved it, but now that I look at the personnel report, it has not been changed.
Is that because item number 3?
No, item number 3 was separate because I don't know that when the high school last had that position, and I don't remember seeing that posted on the open positions in HR. And then my other issue was the summer school teachers getting compensated at their hourly rate.
To the summer school teachers, how was it last year? I know you're saying previously, but
Last year it was posted at $40 an hour, and teachers took that $40 an hour.
okay.
This year, there was no dollar amount listed on the posting.
And it's on the personnel report for approval.
It's on the personnel report for approval at $40 an hour.
Okay.
How much hour?
$40
It's at
an
40,
hour.
and it should- right. And you said it was understood that it was going to be their salary, their
The
hourly
past
rate.
practice before COVID and we changed stuff and things like that, teachers were making their hourly rate for summer school.
Okay.
Madam President, if I could,
Yes, Attorney Harris.
do you identify which items on the personnel report are impacted by?
It would be any certified teacher for the summer school, so there's a whole lot of them.
I'm asking because at some point,
Yeah,
a motion might be made, so. we
Okay.
can reference.
Do you know the
So would you agree, you're speaking about starting on item number 118 all the way to probably item 164?
What page you on, Mercedes? Page.
I'm just
Yes,
go-
118 is the first teacher I see listed under the summer school report.
Okay, and that would be page 23,
Okay.
and then ending,
On page 26, on my copy, it's page 26.
items 164?
Madam President, I'm seeing an hourly rate of $40.
So the
So it-
dispute is that it should be their salary.
So if you look at 165,
hourly
166,
salary.
167, 168, those are counselors, and that's separate, that's covered under the CBA, I do believe. So
So VP
they should all
Rodriguez,
say that is basically what I'm saying. They should all say that, the greater of $40 or the hourly rate for all of the teachers, starting with number 118.
do you see it?
So in other words, it would be either the $40 or greater than what their contract states.
That's what their expectation was, but that's not what they're seeing.
Is that what you, yeah, it's not showing it, but that's what you're saying, right?
That's what my understanding was, what was going to happen after discussion.
Madam President?
I'm sorry, before I get to you, Trustee
ahead.
Gomez,
Yeah.
were you going to clarify something, Attorney Harris?
No, I understand now. Just in the event someone made a motion, I wanted to make sure I
Okay.
can help with what items are going to be affected by it. But I do think we should get, just for the record, Dr. Bornay's input on whether or not that was also his understanding in terms of items 118 and 170. That the language would read greater of $40 or the hourly rate. Is that correct?
Correct. So no, incorrect, my understanding. So we did address the counselor who was doing whatever their hourly rate was. We addressed that. We were looking at our previous rate, which was issued last year, which was $40 an hour for summer school.
And then again, to clarify, that was on the job posting. This year, there was no rate on the job posting.
So Dr. Bornay, are you suggesting the way it's written or reflected on the personnel report now with the hourly rate is accurate?
It is accurate, but we are willing to make the language consistent with greater of $40 an hour or hourly rate.
Okay.
For those item numbers.
Madam President.
Yes, trustee Gomez. Yes,
So,
trustee Gomez.
thank you. If Dr. Bonet, is this, so this is not in the teacher's contract?
That is correct.
And,
So in the teacher contract, it lists the rate for tutoring, anything after school, et cetera, which is the basis of that rate.
okay. And then the other question I have is, wouldn't this number be greater than a teacher's salary?
That is correct. Some teachers make more than $40. Some teachers make less.
I see, okay.
Okay.
So, okay,
Did you have a question, trustee Gibson King?
yes. Back to what Helen was saying, item number 3. So you saying that this position was not posted?
I don't remember it being posted.
Right. Was it posted? Pardon?
It was posted, I saw it.
Oh. Okay, so do we have someone in our, I think we talked about this, so we do have someone in our school that's in this position already, right, Dr. Bonet?
That is correct.
And so what happens to that person that's there? Where do they go to now?
They'll be transferred or reassigned.
Transferred and reassigned? Okay, so now, I noticed that this individual, let's see here. Oh, boy. Let's see here.
I do have a question after hers.
Yeah, I'm looking for my page, Madam President. For the page with, what page is the non-renewals on? What page are they on? Page 20. Okay. Okay, Dr. Bonet, on page 20, the non-renewals, the ones that have the EP, the emergency permit, is this why they were non-renewed?
Could you repeat your question, please?
On page 20, the individuals that have the EP that are non-renewed, is this the reason why, because of the emergency permit?
That is correct.
So now we're hiring, we have several people that's on this page, emergency permit. So now we're hiring someone else? And now we're hiring somebody
Yes,
that
so-
has a emergency permit, and we got 3 that we're non-renewing?
No, we'll be hiring ideally people who are officially certified and licensed with the PAL. And if we can't find someone, then we will hire someone with emergency permit.
Yeah, I'm just questioning, do you have some that you're non-renewing, and now you're back again hiring some that have emergency permit?
Yes.
So that ain't making no sense to me, but if that's what you're doing. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I have a question, it's probably for HR. Just because I want to get an understanding and clarification on the job posting. I know I saw it previously posted on the, I'm sorry, could we mute our mics? I know I saw the job posted previously on our website, so I go in there right now, and I'm just not too familiar with Nimble. So I go in, is there a difference between a school band teacher and a music teacher?
Yeah, it's posted as a band teacher. And
So it's posted as a band teacher.
as a band teacher, and that was posted March 12th.
Yeah, that's the-
I'm sorry, could you finish your explanation, because you kind of,
We posted it March 12th, but the band is the same as the
It's the
music.
same, so the school band teacher and the band, okay. So currently, we only have one in the district, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and I think we had a discussion about possibly having a band feeder program, having a band teacher in middle school and a band teacher in high school, correct? And that's the purpose of this role, is that, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So right now, as it stands, what I'm looking at in Nimble, I see the position in here, but it's kind of grayed out. It says unfulfilled, but if I click on it, it does say posted March 4th, and it says open until filled. So what is the status of this posting right here?
I'm sorry, which position was that?
Looking at it says multiple schools, school band teacher. The school band teacher position posted March 4th.
Okay, so the gentleman that we have lined up for it, we're still waiting for background checks. So if it doesn't, if he's not
No,
successful.
I'm sorry, I didn't explain my question. So what is the actual status of this posting that I'm looking at? Because it says open until filled, and I think that's what you're saying, there still hasn't been approved, or he hasn't accepted yet, because you're still waiting on background check. So that's why we
Correct,
have it
and
open.
at your approval and board approval.
So right now, anyone who goes into Nimble could see this job posting right now?
Correct.
Like I'm looking at it?
Correct. So once you approve and background checks come through, I'll close out the position and send out letters to all the applicants.
Okay. Yes.
So on the personnel report, it says music teacher.
Yes, it
Doesn't say band.
Right, and that's why I asked for clarification, if they were the same positions or not. And he stated that they are the same positions. Is there a reason why they have two different titles, or?
You know what, when I was talking to Dr. Yanders, I did put on there a band, but I guess sometime during, the processing of the personnel report, I typed in music.
So right now, it stands, what's on the personnel report is just a music teacher.
Correct.
Okay.
We haven't gotten to the band. Is that what they're saying? So evidently we haven't gotten to the band.
Band as well.
So the music teacher stated here would just be teaching music, like choir, because that's what it looks like, choir.
No, it would be for both music and band.
And band.
Well, then it
According to
should
what
be,
Dr. Bournet said that his need is.
okay, never mind, because I'm getting ready to go there. But anyway, so, it just needs to be, if it's gonna be both, then it should stay just both. Music teacher / band teacher. Am I making sense? Instead of just music teacher.
The gentleman did apply to the band teaching position. It was just an error on this personnel report.
Those errors cost us a lot of time.
Okay, so let's move it. Let's keep it moving.
So,
Edit.
forgot where we started.
Right now, Madam President, you're still in discussion on questions on the personnel report itself.
So we already had, it's on the board discussion?
Yes,
Okay.
once we get there, yep. If there's not any other board questions, I think item number 1 requires some clarification. Dr. Bournet, in terms of the salary.
I do have a number of questions.
There you go.
Madam President, may
Yes, trustee Gomez.
Well, it looks like Dr. Burnett will address number 1. On page 6, number 20,
Can I, excuse you just one second?
Absolutely.
I'm not clear, and I don't recall, did I pass, I've already completed audience comment.
Correct.
I still have to make a motion so that we can discuss
Okay.
it on the board. Okay. All right. Any additional audience comments before I move forward? Yes.
My name is Luz Leon, the 4309 Alder Street.
Excuse me, it's just not the time for the presentation.
Are you speaking
I'm sorry.
related to the?
Yes.
To the music,
Okay.
to the personnel report? Yep.
Okay.
Quiero hacer una pregunta.
Sí, claro.
¿Por qué si los maestros son apreciados por nosotros como padres.
What traducing, okay? She's saying, I have a question. Why, if the teachers are appreciated by us parents,
¿Por qué no se les aumenta el salario y no se les da más recursos que ellos necesitan?
why are we not giving them additional compensation and more resources that they need? Gracias. ¿Otra pregunta? Okay, muchas gracias. All right, thank you. Teachers. Okay, all right, can I get a motion to approve the,
Madam President, I think it would be a little more efficient if we finish the questions of the board members first, because the motion might be different. That way we don't
so
have
that,
a second.
I think that was my question.
Yes,
that
don't do a motion yet.
Okay.
Let's have trustee Gomez make his questions or comments that he
Okay.
has. Then
All
we'll
right.
do it after that.
All right, thank you. All right, trustee Gomez, as you were.
Thank you. On page 6, number 20, I did ask this question the other day, but just for clarification, if those who may have the same question, this individual is moved from the position of instructional coach, and then it says to the location is Harrison. My question is, what happens to the instructional coach position that's now vacated? Should this be approved?
So it'll be similar to the process of once the SRO coach is filled, it now then creates a vacancy, then we post for an instructional coach.
The intention is to fill that
Correct.
position. Page 7, 21 and 22, I stated my position on this as well. The current principal at Lincoln has established a culture there, a relationship with teachers, parents, et cetera. And in 1 year, we're now taking that work of 1 year and bringing in a new person who's going to have to establish a relationship with teachers, establish a relationship with parents. I see this more as working in neutral, if not even in reverse. The individual in line item 22 has worked at Washington before, is familiar with that school, is familiar with the teachers there. I'm not comfortable with these assignments, and I just want to state that publicly. I think 21 should stay at Lincoln, and 22 should be moved to Washington. On page 11, I'm sorry, on page 8, I'm just I don't know who can answer this, but it says here, the correct title of the position is supervisor. Is there, how does this happen when we get two positions or two titles for the same position? I know somebody in payroll or HR can answer that question.
Trustee
It's
Gomez,
line
what-
item 23 I'm referring to.
Trustee Gomez, what item are you on? Just
23.
We on page 8,
Page 8, number 23.
Yes.
Oh.
Page 8, item 23.
Yes.
The individual actually reports to the state of Indiana under two job titles for some reason. We really are not sure when this actually occurred, probably several years ago. Her title should be that of a supervisor, but unfortunately, it shows up as both. So if you were to look, for instance, at the Indiana compensation model, you will see that she reports twice. Once as a supervisor for half her salary, the other time as a coordinator for half her salary. So she should be a supervisor, so we're simply trying to correct the title so we can make sure that the paperwork flows through appropriately.
Are we going to eliminate the other position?
Yes,
Okay.
the other position will not be filled, and the salary does not change.
Okay.
Okay.
And then on page 11, number 31, is that salary being prorated, or is that the salary for the second assistant coach?
You said item 31 on page 11?
Yes.
The athletic director is going to come to address that question.
Good evening. That gentleman was already approved as a volunteer. He moved into the full-time position after the other gentleman did not come back. It just hit to the board report just a little bit late for the change.
So that's the full salary of that position?
Yes.
Thank you. A couple more items. One's, thank you, Mr. Wright, that's all I got. Page 27, 28. On page 27, line item 173 and line item 178, both these people are teachers where they've been reassigned. So it looks like we're covering the harbor side and the East Chicago side with this move. How does this work that they're splitting their school day between two different schools as full-time teachers?
I'd be happy to address that if I may.
And I have,
Trustee Gomez?
excuse me, and I
Sure.
also have a line item, this is regarding paras, a line item 194 and 195 on page 28. So they're kind of all combined.
So here's how we plan on addressing that. At this time, the teachers will actually have 2 classrooms. One will be, I'll take the one teacher, at Harrison and the other at Washington. She will spend 2 days a week at Harrison and 2 days a week at Washington in order to service those children. We've actually been able to amend the IEPs so that the students are being serviced twice a week for the appropriate number of minutes, and therefore they're going to be able to service those children appropriately.
So these are special ed teachers?
Yes, sir.
And paras the same?
Preschool, and the para's the same. Now, their paras may spend, for instance, if they have a larger caseload, for instance, at one building, the para may spend the entire week there and service children, and then be checked on by those teachers. We also have other teachers of record in those buildings, and they will be working with those teachers as well.
And then who do they report to?
They will be reporting to the building principal as preschool teachers in the buildings.
And you say the teacher record will be what now you say?
The teachers of record, there are multiple teachers of record in each of our buildings, so they'll be working together as a cohesive team. Now that our preschool students are moving back into the buildings, they will become part of the building.
So they're going to be evaluated by two different principals?
Actually, we discussed that today with one of the teachers. It's a very good question. One of the things that we discussed is that our preschool coordinator, Ms. Terry Johnson, does conduct evaluations, and she will continue to conduct those evaluations for those teachers.
That's all I have, Madam President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President,
Yes, VP Rodriguez.
I do have a question and possibly an amendment for item 1 on page 1, or page 2. So apparently Tuesday, we had an exec session, had a discussion, and just wanted to know what the update was, Dr. Vorney, with regards to that, and whether that needs to be changed or removed.
And I'm sorry, Trustee Rodriguez, would you mind repeating the last portion?
Page 2, item 1, as we had a discussion.
Correct.
With the board, and was wondering what's the update on that? Because what I'm looking at here isn't the amount of the update that we discussed.
That is correct. We did discuss adjusting the salary. We did speak with the prospective employees regarding discussion. At this point, we did not have a consensus from that employee to lower the salary amount.
Any other questions? I know we've had a loaded discussion. I just want to make sure that we're all clear on what we're going to be executing here right now.
I just have one question. Page 2, item 1. I'm just gonna say this. I wasn't happy with the process. I wasn't happy with the process and the way that came about. And hopefully, this won't happen again. I'm just not happy with the process. I'm not saying I'm not happy with the food service person. I'm just not happy with, I'm not satisfied with the process. If we're gonna do a process, let's do it correctly, the right way. And I just gave the board information on how things are supposed to be handled when you're hiring or whatever, new employees. So read your packet that I gave you, because we seem to be hit and missing on certain items that causes a lot of conflict. So, I'm not really happy. I'm just, I understand the need of it, but I'm just not happy with the process. That's all I have to say.
All right.
If you're gonna do it right for everybody. I'm done.
Okay. Dr. Warden, can you clarify for me again, as it relates to items 118 through 164? Only because it was kind of back and forth. So are you in agreement or not with, it should have stated greater of $40 or hourly rate?
Yes, I'm in agreement regarding it should be the greater or hourly rate.
Thank you.
Just want to make sure.
Madam President, quick
Yes.
question. What about items 169 and 170 then? Would that new language also apply to those two or not? Right?
168 and 169.
That is correct. They,
169 and 170.
yes, because they're still working summer school.
Right.
All right. So I'm ready to take a motion. Can I get a motion to approve item 7.13, personnel report?
Madam President,
Yes, trustee Gomez.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this with the following amendments. Table item number 1, table item number 3, switched positions from 21 and 22, and pay at the $40 an hour or greater as recommended.
Could you state your second amendment?
Absolutely. Tabling item number 1, tabling item number, since there's no consensus there, tabling number 3, as there seems to be confusion still on that. Switching the positions on 21 and 22. Returning the Lincoln principal to where they're at now and moving the new principal over to Washington. And then adding the language that the pay would go to $40 an hour or greater.
Is there a second motion to trustee Gomez?
Yeah, I'll second it. Gibson King.
Second by trustee Gibson King. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Trustee Gibson King,
Yes.
trustee Gomez.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez,
No.
trustee Smith,
No.
Madam President Taylor.
Can I make a secondary motion, or this is the one that stands?
Now we're in the middle of voting on one, so if you want to make another motion, you could vote no on this and then make a new motion, because the prior one would fail.
Okay,
You could do it that way.
all right, then I'm gonna vote no, and I'll make a secondary motion.
It would
Another
be a new
motion.
A new motion.
I'll make a
yes.
new motion.
Yes.
All right, so my vote is no.
Make a new motion.
I would like to make a new motion to My new motion is to approve with the amendment of changing, modifying items number 118 through 164 and items 169 through 170 to the rate of $40 or greater hourly rate.
Can you repeat that? What page are you talking about?
Oh, that's a lot of pages. So my motion
what's the
is
number? One what
to
now?
approve the personnel report,
Uh-huh.
modifying the language on items number 118 through 164 and item 169 through 170
Okay.
to say $40 an hour or greater, the greater of $40 an hour or hourly rate.
Okay.
That is my motion. Can I get a second?
So you're just focusing on the teacher.
Second.
Okay, so I made, motion made by myself and second by Secretary Smith. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
President,
Yes, Trustee Gomez.
we have an opportunity for questions.
Yes.
I'll go back to item number 1. I think the language that was used was that there was no consensus on that. I think the board had another opinion on the dollar amount that was to be offered to that individual. Without that agreement, I would ask that, again, that we add the tabling item number 1 to that motion. And I'm not removing them. I'm just tabling this until we can find an agreement on salary for that position.
When you say agreement, are you referencing the agreement amongst us, the board, or an agreement between the superintendent and the individual?
The superintendent was supposed to share the board's position on an offer, and apparently...
Which he did, right?
Apparently, it didn't meet with approval from the candidate, so I think the board has made it clear to the superintendent what our position is in terms of salary. Unless question or thoughts have changed, I think we felt, I don't want to speak for the board, but I think there was some consensus that the salary was too high and that there was going to be a discussion on how we were going to move forward with this position. So I would like to table this one.
Okay, well, if I can share, because I don't think I listened to all sides, but I don't think I actually shared what my position was on this. And my position is that this salary does not come out of operations, nor does it come out of education. There's also reimbursable items that we could execute that will also impact or help benefit that fund as well. And not to sound like a broken record, but I'm here in this seat using my transferable skills as I do in corporate. I transfer those skills here. When you have an individual, if you have a salary schedule, you have an entry rate, a mid rate, and then at the high end. So beginning, middle, high. And you have an individual that comes in with 10 years of experience that's fully certified, state certified, has all the license. That individual, in all fairness, should fall in the middle of the salary schedule. So that's why in my position, I vote yes.
And Madam President, I understand that's your position. That wasn't the consensus of the board, however.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was 5 of us, but I never spoke until today, so no one knew what my position was until today.
I understand that, but the consensus of the board
Okay.
was delivered to the superintendent to deliver to the candidate. So I respect your opinion, but that was not the consensus of the board. Attorney Harris, am I making sense?
So did we actually have do we need to go down and
No, I think there was a consensus in terms of the messaging to the superintendent. That situation played itself out. Now, that is what happened. Now you're at a position where you need to make a vote on the personnel report. Either it's with an old number, a new number, a different number, whatever it is, but now's the time to make a final decision.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll modify my motion then. I'll make the motion to...
One second, VP Rodriguez was going to make a comment.
And if I can just add to that, since we are on the same subject, and I'm glad you said that, because that was going to be one of my discussions, was that it is within the salary schedule. So it does fall in line with that. And then the second item I want to talk, when we talk about board consensus, the board consensus was to provide a recommendation to the superintendent whether he accepts it or not. we don't tell the superintendent how this is going to go. We basically provide that recommendation to him, and depend on the discussion that he had with this individual, obviously it stayed the same rate. So we can't, I mean, that's as far as that's going to go, unless you guys want to completely remove, make a motion to remove.
That's why I made the motion to table it.
So, Madam President, there is already a motion that's on the floor. Trustee Gomez would need to make a secondary motion to deal with his issue of item number 1.
So my motion that I made, it was on the floor.
Your motion's already on the floor. A secondary motion's appropriate. Trustee Gomez needs to make it so that it's clear, and then we'll see if there's a second, and we'll play that scenario out.
Okay.
And Madam President, I'll go ahead and make that in the form of motion, just to table item 1 until we come to a conclusive salary for this position. Understanding it comes out of federal dollars, but I think the optics is questionable, and while we've had this service in-house, it's not been solely that service. And I think that we're well with, what Trustee Rodriguez said, this is within the salary range. It is, but it's at the middle part of that salary range. I'm suggesting that we put it at the entry level of that salary range. So I'd like
So
to
what is your
table
motion?
item number 1.
Your motion is to table it?
Yes.
Okay, so motion made by Trustee Gomez to table item number 1. Is there a second?
I want to ask Mr. Harris something before we get a second. I thought we had some conversation on this, but what happened? It changed? So, okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to, with Jesse to table.
So you're going to second it? You're going to second his
Yes, I'm
motion? Okay.
seconding it because
So
of what-
second made by Trustee Gibson King. Can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Gibson King.
Yes.
Trustee Gomez.
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez.
No.
Trustee Smith. No. Madam President Taylor.
No.
We're back to your
So now we're back to my motion.
Go back to your
Can I get a
motion now.
second? Do I have to restate the motion? My motion,
If they need it restated, you can.
all right. So
that's-
my motion's on the floor. Do I get a second on my motion?
I'll second the motion.
Second by VP Rodriguez. Any comments?
Madam President?
Yes.
There was also, this is to the superintendent, there's also another item. Would this be a 2-year contract for number 1 or 1-year contract? Because that was part of that discussion as well. I just wanted to make sure.
I don't recall what day it was.
1 year, they're all 1 years.
In the meeting, 1 year. Am I correct, Dr. Bernard?
That is correct.
Okay. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
She had already seconded. She did. You're right.
I had already seconded.
No.
Trustee Gomez.
No.
Trustee Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
Madam President Taylor.
Yes.
Oh, you said so, 1 year.
Thank you.
Dr. Bernard? 1 year.
Moving on to public forum.
1 year.
If you signed up to speak tonight, if you could please state your name at the podium and your address. Your comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please be respectful of the board, the staff, and the audience. And lastly, please refrain from discussing any individual personnel matters. Thank you.
I'm sorry, the first person we have is Luz Leon? Luz de Leon.
Hi, my name is Luz Leon, and I speak for both Veronica Rojo, Diana Cruz, and Sandra Perez.
Did
Can
they
I
all
speak
sign
more?
up?
Oh, yes.
Okay, perfect. You could just check them off.
We have this paper. We have traduction. I'm reading Spanish. My daughter, you can read in English and follow me.
You gave me mine already.
¿Quiere que le traduzca mientras lo está leyendo para la audiencia?
Sí, traigo creo que suficientes papeles para la audiencia.
Okay.
Si alguien quiere un papel.
All right, did everyone get an English copy of of her statement in the audience? Okay, she says she has copies for you all. so that she could read her statement in Spanish, and I won't have to translate.
Right.
Okay, procede.
Creemos que, soy Luz León, 4309 Alder Street. Creemos que como residentes de East Chicago y padres de familia, como hijos escritos de la escuela pública de East Chicago, tenemos el derecho de hacer preguntas sobre asuntos que afectan directamente la educación y ambiente escolar de nuestros hijos. Entendemos reglas de este foro público y reconocemos que quizá no se pueda responder durante la reunión, sin embargo, dejamos nuestra información de contacto y solicitamos respetuosamente respuestas e inquietudes. Nos gustaría saber dónde está la señora Hogan y por qué ya no está en la Washington. A los padres nunca se nos informó por qué no se le renovó su contrato y creemos que nuestra comunidad merece transparencia y una comunicación respetuosa sobre la pérdida de una directora tan efectiva y dedicada. Desde la salida de la señora Hogan, hemos visto una disminución significativa en el clima y la cultura escolar en la Washington. La disciplina estudiantil parecen estar uno de los bajos niveles. Las peleas ocurren regularmente durante el día escolar y después de las clases. Los estudiantes están siendo víctimas de acoso y tienen miedo de venir a la escuela porque sienten que no están tomando medidas efectivas para abordar estos problemas. Los maestros son irrespetuados verbalmente y los estudiantes involucrados a veces no reciben ninguna consecuencia en lugar de las consecuencias significativas. La señora Hogan era una directora amable, trabajadora, dedicada y respetuosa delante de la comunidad. Su ausencia ha tenido un impacto negativo en nuestra escuela y muchos padres siendo irrespetados por no haber sido incluidos e informados sobre la decisión que ha afectado profundamente a nuestros hijos. Nuestros hijos no están aprendiendo al nivel académico que deberían y los resultados claramente lo reflejan. Queremos saber qué acciones específicas se están tomando para mejorar el rendimiento académico de los estudiantes y quién es responsable de supervisar el currículum y las instrucciones dentro del distrito. Durante varios años hemos seguido viendo bajo rendimiento académico y un crecimiento estudiantil limitado, como resultados de exámenes que permanecen iguales o incluso disminuyen. Los maestros solo pueden enseñar el currículum, los materiales y los métodos de instrucciones aprobados por el liderazgo del distrito. Por lo tanto, quienes toman las decisiones curriculares también deben ser responsables de los resultados académicos de los estudiantes. ¿Cuánto tiempo más se espera que los padres esperemos resultados académicos aceptables? El distrito ha invertido tiempo y recursos en iniciativas de planificación estratégica. Sin embargo, las gráficas de datos contienen mostrando que cada muestra escuela no cumple con las expectativas en el arte.
Son los 3 minutos.
Sí, pero voy a usar los tres de cada uno.
Okay, so she wants to use the minutes of the
Yeah,
other
she's
two.
using,
Yes.
yep.
We all signed up.
Los gráficos de datos continúan mostrando que nuestras escuelas no cumplen con expectativas de arte, de lenguaje, inglés y matemáticas. La única área que está acercándose a las expectativas es la categoría de estudiantes de aprender inglés, porque las juntas escolares no están cuestionando públicamente y abordando estos resultados. En Washington perdimos a una maestra de 3er grado muy temprano en el año escolar. Esta maestra trabajaba con nuestros estudiantes, aprendices de inglés, y nunca fue reemplazada. En lugar de los estudiantes fueron divididos en 3 grupos, colocándolos en diferentes salones. No creemos que haya sido el mejor plan educativo para nuestros hijos, porque nuestros estudiantes no reciben una maestra calificada experiencia o capacitación en educación para aprender del inglés. Según las propias políticas del estudio, para seguir el éxito del programa Aprender de Inglés, EL, o el desarrollo del idioma inglés de nuestros estudiantes, los maestros EL tendrán un entrenamiento básico y familiaridad con las políticas e investigaciones relacionadas con legislaciones claves y casos importantes relacionados con los programas para aprender inglés. ¿Por qué no se siguió esa política? ¿Por qué no se cumplen las metas establecidas para el programa EL del estudio? También nos gustaría saber qué salón será asignado ahora para los padres voluntarios, ya que nosotras 4 somos madres voluntarias de la Washington, que representamos en nos entrenamos en este salón para padres, fue removido. Además, ¿quién servirá representante de padres de Washington? No hemos tenido un representante de padres constante y muchos padres sienten que no son escuchados. Si no fuera por la especialista EL, aquí hago un paréntesis, que siempre nos ha apoyado la señora Miss Purcell, quien constantemente ha sido lo suficiente amable para ayudar a interpretar y traducir para cada familia. Muchos de nosotros quizá no habríamos tenido una voz en la Washington, ni recibido información sobre la Washington. Estamos agradecidos por su continuo apoyo y dedicación hacia nuestras familias. Desde hace mucho tiempo, los padres voluntarios no nos hemos sentido valorados ni apreciados, aunque el distrito públicamente promueva la participación de los padres. Muchos de nosotros que constantemente ofrecemos nuestro tiempo y apoyo en eventos escolares nos sentimos ignorados y rechazados. Hemos pedido repetidamente involucrarnos más, pero nuestra solicitud frecuente quedan sin respuesta. También se nos ha dicho que no podemos formar un grupo de padres ni organizar actividades para recaudar fondos para apoyar eventos y actividades estudiantiles durante el año escolar. Esto deja a muchas preguntas sin participación de los padres. ¿Realmente es bienvenido a la Washington? Si la familia no son valoradas ni incluidas de ninguna significativa, entonces quizá debemos comenzar a considerar si las escuelas públicas siguen siendo el mejor lugar para nuestros hijos.
Muchas gracias. Y le felicito por salir y expresarse. Y él quiere tener una reunión con usted.
Personalmente, mis hijos y las madres voluntarias hemos recaudado firmas para que regresen a Hogan a la escuela, porque es injusto que la hayan sacado como la sacaron. Y si la sacaron el 24 de febrero, ¿por qué no se nos avisó a ningún padre? Porque no sabíamos nadie, si no preguntamos por Hogan, ¿dónde está Hogan? Nadie hay respuesta. Can you traduce it for me?
Sí, ok. So, ¿cuántas firmas tienes ahí?
Ahorita tenemos varios. Mis hijos hemos salido a la comunidad a que nos firmen también estas cosas, para que nos firmen la comunidad. ¿Por qué? Porque la comunidad no sabía que Hogan no estaba.
Okay. So what she's saying is that she has a petition that she has collected signatures requesting for the return of Ms. Andrea Hogan back to Washington.
Yes.
She also stated that that we dismissed Ms. Hogan in February and we did not notify anyone, and no one knows where she's at.
Yes.
And that has not been communicated to the parents. So I'm going to clarify to her that Ms. Hogan was placed on a personnel report in February on a medical leave.
Okay, lo hicieron aquí porque yo tengo la copia de que la
En febrero.
sacaron el 24 de... No le renovaron su contrato el 24 de febrero.
Pero el contrato que no se fue renovado era para el fin de año.
Ujú.
En febrero, ella estaba en el reporte del personal porque ella tomó un leave
Descanso.
médico.
Claro.
So, ella fue la que tomó su leave médico, pero renovada no significa que no iba a estar empleada por el distrito. Renovada nada más significaba que no iba a estar en esa posición. Encima de eso, ella también puso su resignación.
Ok, yo vivo enfrente de la escuela La Washington. Todos los días yo miraba a Hogan. Es una directora bien dedicada, porque la directora se iba a las 7 de la noche, todos los días, y había veces que ella iba los sábados. ¿Por qué? Si no se le renovó el contrato o ella ya no quiere estar en la escuela, ¿por qué no nos avisaron a nosotros como padres de familia? Necesitábamos una respuesta.
La clarificación que le quiero dar a usted es que la notificación fue dada en el reporte de personal en el
Claro.
febrero, que no fue que...
En el reporte del personal, perdón.
Esa es una publicación porque también lo aprobamos aquí mismo en la reunión de School Board. So, él va a tener una reunión con usted. Yo nada más le estoy dando la clarificación que sí notificamos y hicimos aquí un voto por el personal y está publicado en el Board Docs.
Okay.
Está publicado ahí desde febrero, que no fue que no comunicamos. So, si no mandamos carta, porque eso no afecta hasta el fin de año. Pero nada más quiero clarificar eso. No disputo que ella no es quien es, que ella es fenomenal. Eso no es lo que estoy discutiendo.
Lo que pasa es que sí nos ha afectado, le voy a decir por qué. Porque los maestros de la Washington han sido agredidos verbalmente por niños y no hay consecuencia. Nosotros como padres estamos ahí y hemos visto cómo a Miss Miller le han faltado al respeto.
Entiendo.
A cada maestra le han faltado el respeto. Y
Okay.
nosotros como padres voluntarios no podemos decir nada.
No, yo
solamente
entiendo y le
ver.
agradezco. Sí, le agradezco. So, voy a traducir para ello. Okay, so, para terminar aquí, él va a tener una reunión con usted y nada más quiero dar esa clarificación porque estamos, en meeting, pero él va a tener una reunión con usted. Yo voy a clarificar y traducir para ello. So, I just clarified for her that. So she stated that Ms. Hogan was dismissed in February, and I just clarified to her that she was not dismissed. She was actually on a medical leave in February. It was on the personnel report. It's still posted on Board Docs, and that was a way of notification that no letters do not, because we do not send out letters to the home when anyone goes on leave. So I just wanted to clarify that part. And then all her other concerns, she did edify Ms. Hogan and highlight that she is a very dedicated principal, that she lives across the street. She sees her leaving at 7 o'clock at night. She works hard. That since she's been gone, there's been noticeable behavior issues where kids are behaving poorly, disrespecting teachers and them, and they are dedicated parent volunteers, and they have limited access or limited things that they could do to help in the school, and they just want to be able to be a more of a resource and a more of extension to be a help in the school. And on top of that, I did also say that Dr. Bornay will be meeting with them personally to address any other concerns. Es lo que dije. Okay, we agree that that's what she said. Okay.
Aquí ya tenemos en la página
So
7.
tengo que terminar porque ya le dimos 15 minutos.
Pero aquí en la página 7 podemos revisar que ya pusieron otro director y no se nos ha notificado que Hogan no está.
Ella sigue todavía en leave, okay? So she's just notifying that. De nada. Muchas gracias. Le agradezco por toda su ayuda y por venir a expresarse. Is there anybody else?
Yeah, next we have, I think Diane Cruz, was Diane Cruz part of the group?
Permiso, one second. Okay.
Yes, okay, so
Si
the
se puede
next-
comunicar con la señora Wright para que le dé una cita.
Okay, so the next we have Helen Steinbeck.
¿Quién es? La segunda, la que me está mirando.
Helen Steinbach, 5207 East 73rd Avenue. Just want to say thank you for the appreciation that was given last week. It was very much appreciated by the teachers. I think every building did things a little bit differently, but whatever was provided by the board and the administration, we appreciate it. And the cake was good as always. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam President, that concludes our public presentation.
Okay. All right, thank you. Now moving on to board remarks. I'm going to let Trustee Smith go first.
Good evening. I'm not going to be long. While listening to her, giving her speech about what's going on in the schools, when we went to the conference, that was one of the issues that we were addressed. We are so, I'm just going to, well, here I go. I'm just going to say this. We are so tight-knitted until when we haven't, basically, let me say this. One of the schools that made it in Los Angeles, they had a parent group, not saying anything against the parent university, but they didn't have the same people in the same committee. What they did was they went into the community and they got different parents of different social status and had a community roundup to focus and address the problems that we were having. And that was one of the things that I want to bring back. Parent University is good, don't get me wrong, and there's a lot of information out there. But like she said, even though I don't speak Spanish, but I read it, we need to stop putting the same people in the same community, because guess what? We're overlooking somebody that might have something very important to bring to us, like she did. So we need to broaden our horizon as far as community committees. And that's all I want to say. You can't keep using the same people and expect different results. So if we reach out and we go get her, and I'll go get her, and we come in as a community, then you can bring me some ideas, you can bring me some ideas, and we can make this work. And that's what made that school really come together when they had to change their building into a community center. So I'm asking you all, please, let's change the focus and let's solve the solution by all of us coming together. And we just can't stay in one little huddle. And we stay in one little huddle, we can't. We have to nest out. So with that being said, I'm saying this because I have to go home. And good night.
Thank you. Trustee Gibson King? I didn't even know you were gone.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I just want to say that May the 1st was a good event for our district, our students. Superintendent Mercedes. We had Diana Darden, who was the principal at Central High School. And what got me was I was able to be a part of all of it. I had just as much fun as the students did. And I went to every school. I went to all schools and participated in whatever they had going on at the takeover day. Our kids, they just had a ball. They just, I mean, this is the first that they've ever done this from my understanding. And it was put together real nice. There was no incidents or anything of that. They had popcorn, they had a prom, they had a fashion show. And then they had music, so each school had a different event going on, but it was well put together. So that was one thing. And you can go on Facebook and see how I was engaged in everything that they had to do. So that was one thing.
Gibson King's on the face now.
Yes. So that was one thing. I want to, there's going to be a special education process for ages 3 to 22 understanding Article 7. This will be a parent training at our public library in Columbus Drive. It will take place May the 16th of this year, and the time will be at 1:30 to 2:30 for English, and in Spanish it will be from 3 to 4. So there are flyers out there. All social media information is going out about this, and I am very excited to have this as another tool, if you will, for our parents to learn about the laws that they need to know for their children. They're the only ones that can be better advocates for their children. And I also want to mention the Juneteenth that we have at our Columbus Library as well, which is going to be sad, Mercedes. You know, this happened to us last year. It was on the same day graduation. So we had to split our time. But anyway, we're going to have Juneteenth, June the 6th at our Columbus Library as well. I think the time is, Fanny, do you know the time? Is it from 10 to 4? 11? Okay, but anyway, we all want you to come out for Juneteenth Day as well. So that's all I have to say. And I thank you for the presentation.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. My phone's talking. Trustee Gomez?
Thank you. I'll make mine brief. Just following up on the public forum comments. And I think based on some of the experiences we had in San Antonio, me visiting a dual language school, and I think I mentioned it in a previous board meeting, and Dr. Bernay put up a slide that I had shared with the board. I think it's super important that we continue to look at ways of improving our district. If not, as this parent says, and if we don't, that means academically, artistically, athletically, if we're not doing things that are enhancing programs for every student in this school district, we will lose them. They'll go to Munster, Bishop Knoll, Highland, Whiting, St. John, St. Stan's, you name it. They will leave this district if we're not offering them programs that they can benefit from. That old saying of, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got, applies here. So I asked the superintendent again and my colleagues on the board to break the box open and let's start thinking about things in a realistic way of where we're at right now. And these parents that came up showed us a significant, in my opinion, a significant gap that we have in this district. With, I believe, 900 kids or thereabouts. I'll just throw a number out there, but I think I'm pretty accurate. About 900 of our kids are EL kids. Again, I apologize. I don't have the exact number. But if we're not offering programs that are going to attract kids to this district, they will leave here. And now we have it in black and white. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you. VP Rodriguez?
Thank you. I just want to thank President Gibson King for an insightful presentation.
Sorry, what's my name?
I'm sorry, President Taylor, for insightful presentation. I think it was a really good presentation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And I tell you what, I was real surprised. I think you did a really good job, very professional. I love it. I also want to take a moment just to thank everyone, just to thank our faculty, our staff, our clerks, our custodians, our administrators, our partners. I know this is almost to the end of the school year, and I don't think you guys get that enough. I just want to say thank you. I know this has been a tough year for us, overcoming obstacles, and I think I truly believe that this board has truly been coming together, and we're going to try to do the best we can to ensure that next year is even better. We've been through a lot of hurdles, but we actually overcame those hurdles. And I think now is a good time just for me just to say thank you to all of you for doing what you do on a day-to-day basis for the school city of East Chicago. So thank you. That concludes my report.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, VP Rodriguez. I am going to reserve my comment for tonight. I think I've done enough talking. It is late. So date and time of next meeting is Tuesday, May 28th, 2020. No, it's Thursday, isn't it? May 28th is on a Thursday. Thursday, May 28th, 2026, right here at the Administration Building. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Let me see.
Motion to adjourn. Y'all want to hang out tonight?
Yes.
Y'all want to hang out tonight?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by VP Rodriguez. Anybody give me a second so we could go home?
Yes, second.
Second by Dr. Bornay and VP, Trustee Gibson King. Meeting adjourned.